Hi guys, welcome to another class. When you're ready, go ahead and find a comfortable laying down position. In today's class we're really focusing on preventing and relieving low back pain. So you can see here with me, I'm bending my knees, having the feet go out wide and the knees bow in, and that really is going to relieve pressure through the SI joint, so that like spot where your spine meets your hips. And then I really do encourage you to bend your knees and put your feet on the ground, especially if you deal with intermittent low back pain and you know you have tight hip flexors. You can bring a pillow underneath your knees if that feels good. Whatever you need to land, laying down supine on your back without that low back hurting, feeling uncomfortable or tight. Start to drop in. Settle the breath. Let that fill the consciousness, and then deepen the breath. And as we start to deepen the breath, where can we find a release of tension through the low belly and hips? When this tension starts to soften, can the breath feel a bit more easeful in the body? Can you really allow the belly to expand, the diaphragm to drop down, allowing for the greatest exchange of oxygen in your lung space? You allow the intention of honey or melting butter to kind of fill the consciousness, to create a tone of ease and relaxing through this area that causes you pain in and out, that may have a hard time letting go of this tension, the guardedness, the protectiveness. And then before we start to build strength and engage contractions, we're just going to open up the hips. So just windmill the hips side to side, up and down, right? This should be intuitive for you, what feels good. In the next breath cycle, land with the soles of the feet together, knees out wide, reclined butterfly. And then from here, keep your hands on your belly, spread them out. One hand low belly, one hand high belly. And then here, soften the gaze if you need to, or close the eyes to find this awareness. Drop yourself deep into your pelvis, right? Between your hips, or between your legs right here, we're really starting to stretch out the pelvic floor. Drop into the pelvis. What does that feel like? Right? Build the relationship between brain to pelvic floor, an area that can feel very blank and not even something you can engage consciously. As we stretch out this space, we're strengthening the connection from brain to body, so then when we ask it to engage further in this class, we can kind of understand what we should be feeling. And if you want to find that sensation of engagement, leave the legs as they are, but you think in your head, I'm pulling my knees together without them moving. There's your inner thigh engagement. And then in this position, keep the legs as they are. And then in your head, all you're going to think is, I'm trying to lift my spine out of my hips. Do you feel the space between your legs start to lift up a bit? There's pelvic floor. Play around with this motion. If you need to keep tick-tocking your legs side to side because something is cramping or feels really tight, please do so, right? We're opening up the hips, getting ourselves ready to find proper engagement and form while we do that engagement. All right, first cycle of exercises. Plant the soles of the feet on the ground, knees are bent. Reach your arms up over your head, get long through your spine, crown of head is moving away from the hips. Keep this length in the spine, but bring your hands down by your side. Bring the awareness to the low back. Keeping the knees bent, tuck the tailbone under a bit so your low back feels flat on the ground. Good, and keep the hands pressing down by your side. Lift your forehead up. Tuck your chin in slightly so your shoulder blades lift off the ground. Right there's that core engagement. Belly button comes closer to the spine, knitting the lower ribs in. And then we keep this motion. Take a deep breath. How do you feel? If this feels good in the body, start to rock your weight side to side. So your left fingertips are coming closer to your left toes, and then on the other side, your right fingertips are coming towards your right toes. Right? A little tick-tock left and right. Big cycles of breath here. Then keep the chest lifted, keep the low back pressing down on the ground, and instead of your arms going side to side, hands go up and down. Knit the ribs in, take a deep breath. Press down through the feet, the hips, the low back. Good. Let it go. Head goes down, arms go down. You breathe. Take a second. Good. Low back is pressing down to the ground. Lift your right leg up and have it straight. Point and flex the toes as you need. And then we're doing gentle leg lifts. Lower the leg down. When you feel the low back start to try to pop up to compensate from the weight of the leg, that is your range. Just move through these gentle range of motion of our hip, making sure the low ribs and upper hips feel like they're constantly contracting closer to each other. Your belly button is engaged and pressing towards your low spine. And that awareness through the hips. Think spine lifting out of the hip area. That will help with pelvic floor engagement. Good, let it go. Let that foot that is lifted, let that ankle come over the other leg. Figure 4, press the knee wide, big breath in. Switch sides. And again, this first few rounds, you're just finding what your range is based off of what strength you have through your core. Right, start to lower the leg down. Once your low back starts to lift up off the ground, that is your range. And you keep moving through this cycle. And once you've gone through the awareness of making sure your core is engaged and your low back is rooted down on the ground and you're breathing full, an added layer to these leg lifts. Go nice and slow on the way down. This will make the hip flexors get more stable and stronger with the eccentric contractions. And then nice and quick as we lift the leg up to work on hamstring strength and better tensile force. Good, let it go. Figure 4 on this side. Push the knee out. Breathe into the front of the hip. Foot comes down, knees are bent. Second round of tick-tocking. Lift your shoulders and head off the ground. Hands come down by your side. Tick-tock left and right. Good. Trying to find the side of our abs, our obliques. Good. Change orientation of the arms. Hands come up and down this time. Chin is coming closer to the knees. You're taking nice big cycles of breath. Feet are pressing down. Hips are pressing down. Shoulder blades are pressing down. Exhale, let it go. Arms up over your head. Big breath in. And out. Hands come down by your side. The right leg reaches up. Straighten the leg. Lower it down to whatever range your low back allows. And then start to draw circles, clockwise and counterclockwise. The full leg line is engaged here. Quads engaged, ankles are engaged, calves are engaged. This will help this be less of a strain on your belly. If you need to take a break, you can lift your leg up for a second to catch your breath and then go back down and keep moving through these circles. Clockwise, counterclockwise. Toes are moving away from the hips as your spine is lifting out of your hips to engage the pelvic floor. Right, this is a lot of subtle cueing. Do the best you can. Good, and then let it go. Switch sides. Left leg reaches up. You lower it down to the range that is comfortable for your low back, that you can sustain it. You can sustain this in big circles, clockwise and counterclockwise. If you need to bend your knee, that is so valid. If your low back wants to pop up, bend the knee and see if that helps. Or if your low back wants to pop up, decrease the angle of the hip to leg. Decrease how low your leg is going. And remember, you always can take a break and lift your leg up if your breath is getting caught in your chest. Right? We want a nice, big, full cycles of breath here. Good. And when you're done, let it go. Let the left leg come down to meet the right, arms up over your head. Big breath in. Slow the breath down. Hands come down by your side. Lift the chest up and head. Tick-tock, side to side. This motion is small and quick. That is the goal. Trying to find engagement through one side of the oblique as the other one lets go and lengthens. When we take a big breath through these postures, good, switch orientations of the hand, up and down. Nice big cycles of breath here. I know it's tricky to find and hold the core engagement while taking a full big cycle of breath. That is part of the work. Breath work is one of the most underrated tools, in my opinion, for core strength and foundational core work. Good, exhale, let it go. Hands out to a T. Rock your head side to side. Relax some of those neck muscles that are getting tight and trying to overcompensate for the lack of strength in our abs. Hands down by your side, belly button to spine. Find that engagement, and then bridge pose. Press down through your heels and lift your feet up. Lower down. Inhale, engage, lift. Keep moving through these cycles. Think glutes are relaxed, hamstrings are engaged, right? So press down through your feet. Right? And then take a breath. And then we're doing one-legged bridges. So take your right ankle, hook it on the outside of the left knee. Lift yourself up. Go slow with these motions, and if you don't lift your hips as high, that is very normal. Think belly button to spine, engage and level out your pelvis. Good, lower yourself down. Go through a few rounds of both, feet pressing down, lifting your hips up, normal bridge to find your form. Soften the glutes every time you lift. Engage the hamstrings. Good. This time, left ankle hooks on the outside of the right knee. Inhale, lift your hips up. Find neutral in your pelvis. Be cognizant of lowering your left hip down so it stays level with your right. Press the left knee open. Engage your front leg lines. Belly button to spine. Exhale, let it all go. Tick-tock the knees side to side. Open up the low back. Where are you holding tension still? Another round of tick-tocking. Lift the head and chest off the ground. Tick-tock left to right. Going nice and quick while our core is staying relatively neutral. Low back is rooted down. Feet are pressing down. Breath is full and light. Change the orientation of the hands up and down. Nice, big full cycles of breath. Head lands on the ground, arms come out like goalposts. Big breath through the chest, roll out the wrists. Hands come down by your side. This time take your right leg, lift it up. Inhale, lift your hips up, bridge pose. Bending at the knee. Thread it underneath the standing leg. Keeping the hips raised up. So you're trying to find openness and full articulation of this right hip while your pelvic floor is nicely engaged. Belly button is to spine and your breath is full. Good. Let's lower it down and switch sides. So bridge pose, both feet down. Lift your left leg up, bend the knee. Thread it underneath your right leg and back up without your hips moving. Yeah, this is not an easy one. If you struggle with this, no, you're not alone. Go slower and take breaks as you need. Good. Really find your low belly is engaging here. Pelvic floor is lifting. Exhale, let it all go. Arms long, legs long. Full body stretch. Soften the belly, let go of the engagement. Shake out the hips and the ribs. And breathe. Slow down the heart rate. Quiet the mind. Come to sitting on your shins. We're to end with a breath practice. Okay, so this first round of breathing, really what we're focusing on is the exhale here. And when we exhale, we're thinking belly button rooted to the spine. So it's an intense engagement in of our belly. And we purse our lips and we're going shh, right? We're breathing out of our lips. So take a nice big inhale and exhale. Big inhale in. Purse your lips. Think belly button to spine. Shh. 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 Keep moving through this motion. This is a fast twitch of belly button into spine. So you're really engaging your transverse abdominis that will push your diaphragm up and push some air out of your lungs, making that shh sound. And then what your goal here is to increase the tonnage of our transverse abdominis. So we do this motion, that fast twitching of belly button to spine, as fast as we can for roughly 30 seconds. So go. This will feel fatiguing. It will get harder the more you do it, right? We're asking a lot of energy to be used in ourselves to produce this contraction. Good. Let it go. Breathe normally. And then I'm going to teach you another breath practice that you can utilize to help increase tonage around our transverse abdominis. This, instead of increasing the tone through fast twitching, which is what that last breath practice did, we're increasing the endurance or the slow twitch muscle fibers of our transverse abdominis. So I'm going to walk you through what this breath practice looks and feels like, and then we'll go through a round together. So generally, just right now, breathe normally. How you make this breath practice work is on an exhale, you empty all the air out through your teeth, and then when you feel empty, you scoop the belly in and up as you lean a bit more forward. And then you'll feel like you're creating a vacuum seal where your collarbone lives and where your ribs meet. Those two areas will feel like they're vacuuming down. That's you creating an isometric contraction of your transverse abdominis, and then you hold that contraction for 10 to 30 seconds based off of how it feels. Okay, let's do a cycle together. Take a nice big breath in and out. Inhale to prepare. Exhale slow and long. Bottom of your breath. Suck your belly in and up. Create a vacuum seal between your ribs and your collarbone. Hold if you can. Exhale, let it go. Good. And then at the end of this class, I encourage you to just move your head in gentle circles left and right. It's really common for our neck to try to take some of the load, especially when we do new and intensive breathwork practices. And then I'm going to end the class here. I'll leave the video running for another 5-10 minutes. If you want to keep working on a couple breath practices, I encourage you to do so. And or if you have any other exercises you like to do or physical therapy exercises that you know you should do, I encourage you to do them here. As always, I hope this landed. I'll see you next time.